Hi guys, and welcome back to the cave, and well, special welcome to our viewer north of the border, and also double thumbs up for Bradley, who likes looking on his granddad when he's monkeying around with bikes, because he wants to learn to monkey around with them as well, I think. Not sure that's a good thing or a bad thing for the future though. So, as promised, an update as where we are with the project. We're at the fully recommissioned stage. We've been through the bike front to back. Anything that's wanted bearings, had bearings, new bolts, new everything, refurbished everything wherever we can. We've been through all of the electrics, installed indicators, lights, and again in the video, second part of this video, you can see what we've actually done with that. We've put new tyres on, and we've gone for well, again, a modern tyre. Originally they would have had like a trials pattern on, but what we've gone for is an enduro pattern, and even then it's got more of a road bias, because, you know, I don't think this bike's going to be used off-road, certainly not by me, and I think it'll be a little bit too high-end for people to be sort of thrashing it about off-road. We've made one or two upgrades, and again, upgrade sounds, you know, it's a bit too strong a term really, but one or two things we've changed out to make it a little bit more modern and suitable for riding in modern traffic. Again, we've now got an MOT, a UK MOT on the bike. Again, there's a big debate as to whether, you know, bikes over 40 years old should have an MOT. Very shortly, legally, they won't need to. When we do a restoration, we'll still continue to put an MOT on the bike, just so we've got a third party looking at what we've done, and just in case we've missed anything. We haven't ever yet, but you know, it doesn't hurt, and you know, an MOT is not that expensive. Also, for this bike, we actually do need an MOT so we can register the bike on the UK DVLA system. Ridden the bike a couple of times, again off-road, and it works really well. It pulls well. It takes a little bit, you know, to clear its stroke, a couple of minutes, but again, it's a two-stroke. It's going to be like that, and it's surprisingly strong. Perhaps I shouldn't say surprising, but it's a good, strong motor. More than, you know, willing to lift the front wheel in the first gear, which, and again, don't advise that, don't do that, children. It's not big and it's not clever, but it's showing plenty of power. Not a great deal more to say. As I said, the second part of the video, which is coming up, you can see what we've done. Please have a look. As usual, make all the comments that you need to, that you feel should do. Thanks for watching for now, and well, catch you on the other side. Bye for now. So, not in any particular order, but let's just go through some of the parts that have been fitted. Pattern rear light. Again, it is the US version. I think we got that in from Thailand. The quality is okay. I would have preferred an original, but very, very difficult to source in the UK, and a bit price limiting to get in from the US. But it serves a purpose. It works all wired up, and it works well. We had to replace the wiring harness to fit this, basically because it was missing. It wasn't there. Again, when we got the bike, the rear lights and indicators were missing, so I guess the previous owner's been using it off-road, no need for those lights. Likewise, the indicators, we had to run new wiring in from the harness. So, rear indicators, again, like the front, we've gone for replica parts, again, I suppose almost obviously. Very, very good replicas, certainly era correct, and I found it very difficult, almost impossible to distinguish from some original parts we've been looking at. The trickiest part was the bracket between the stem and the frame. DT400 ones just simply were not available. Difficult to actually make because of, you know, the way they were bent and pressed out to form them in the first place. But what we did find that the XT500 and also I think it was the XS500 were near enough, and so some very minor adaptations. We got those to fit. Again, we had to get, they were difficult to get. We had to get one for the one side was from an XT, the other was from a XS, but yeah, we got there, and it works. Did mention on the intro about converting the headlight. Certainly on the US model, it was a sealed beam unit. I don't know about the UK model, but again, one very difficult to come by, and again very expensive if you do so. So we've converted this to halogen. Again, it's still on 6 volt, and again, without closer examination, I think it looks correct. Again, people who know would appreciate that it isn't, but I don't think that's a problem. And there is some improvement in lighting, but you know, let's not pretend that a 6 volt headlight is going to blaze away like a lighthouse. But it does what it's supposed to do. It's a neat conversion, I think, and it works, and it was cost effective. Okay, another minor upgrade. Yeah, again, I don't like the term upgrade, but I can't think of a better term. Instead of the old glass type fuse, we've spliced in this holder that will take you know, the spade type fuses. Correct rating, 10 amp it is. And again, what we've done is we've kind of made it so we can take that out very easily and put the old glass fuse holder and system back in there if that's what someone wants. Again, I've just got a preference for, you know, more modern fuse. They do tend to be more stable, and with the cover back on, it does tuck in nicely where the old glass fuse holder used to sit. Hopefully, what you can see as well is the fact that we fitted a new regulator. Didn't realise the old one was shot. But when we run the bike up, we managed to fry a new battery that we'd put on, so we had to get another new battery on that one. Yeah, I guess because the guy had been running it without running the bike without lights and running it without a battery, without putting an eliminator on, he'd probably killed the existing regulator. Then we went to use it. Should have checked it, of course. Didn't, and we fried the battery. But again, new regulator on there. More modern, I suppose, is going to be a good thing. What we also, as well as changing out the regulator, we put a new rectifiers on as well. It wasn't particularly expensive, so and again another good thing to do, I think, on that one. So on the control side, yeah, new levers either side, new mounts on the clutch side, new switchgear housing, because unfortunately the one was way beyond repair. Again, a replica one, and pretty good replica in you know, in so saying. Grips are era correct grips. In fact, they are OEM fitment. The handlebars are just something we had around us, and when we do the cosmetic rebuild, we'll go to the higher bars, which are a bit more era correct. New clutch cable on there. There's new front brake cable. New rear brake light cable and switch. Also, when we do the cosmetic build, the throttle housing, twist grip housing, that'll either be refurbished or replaced, and we have got a new throttle cable to go on there as well. One of the other things that we've changed out, it's a bit grand if you call it an upgrade, but what we've done here, this is the oil feed pipe from the pump into the inlet side of the carb for the Yamaha system. As standard, they're black, you know, a black tubing. I've gone with the, as you can see, a clear tube in there. That's, again, not essential, and again, it could be open to criticism, but I like the idea of being able to see if the oil is coming through, if we've got any air bubbles in there. So that's the rationale behind that. And like any of these sort of improvements, if you want to call them improvement, we do them so they can be converted back to bog standard very easily. I guess the most obvious change from original or standard is the rear shockers. Obviously, both sides of it. I have still got the original shocks that came with the bike, and they're not in good shape, let's put it simply. I think they would still work to some degree, but they want a total rebuild. Price the parts, which are very difficult to get hold of, so some parts would simply have to be made. They were going to come in around 500 or 600 quid, which is, it's a little bit too much for this project. But you know, if and when we do sell the bike, the original shocks will be going with the bike as well. So as you can see, I have sourced shocks that are in the style of the original shocks, and pretty much the same silhouette. What I might actually do is paint that piggyback reservoir black as well, which would have been in keeping with the originals. Again, this is intended to be a rider bike, so I do see this as an improvement. Okay, and as I sort of briefly mentioned a little bit earlier, I've still got the original shocks, so that, whoever owns it after us can take those shocks as well and do with what they want. So this is the first phase of the recommission and restoration completed. Next stage is to then start looking at the cosmetics, respray, tank, oil tank, frame, swing arm, front rear mud guards, headlight, bucket, because they're all should be in the same colour silver, those three particular parts. But what we're going to do before that is just ride around on it, check for any mechanical gremlins, sort them out if we do come across any. Almost certainly I would think the bike's going to need at least re-rigging, if not a rebore. While we've got the motor out, we'll just probably pull the motor apart anyway and just check on other bearings and seals. Like I say, while we've got the motor apart, it seems an appropriate thing to do. We have had an offer on the bike as it is, and it was a good offer, very tempting offer actually. Considering it, but I think really what we want to do is what we've just said, go through the cosmetics and take it to another level. Again, we don't build Concords, it's not what we do, but we like to build high-end rider bikes. So I'll keep you updated where we go to next with this one, and well, spring's here in the UK, as I say, so happy safe riding, guys, and well, anyone who's watching anywhere in the world, happy safe riding, and see you soon with a new video. Bye for now.